Hello, viral herd world. Test 2 in our lubricants testing. The video title will be Oil Alone is Not Enough, which I'm stealing, of course, from one of the participants in this. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. I've got a piece of aluminum flashing here, and each of the different lubricants are laid out before you. We have, of course, the Lubriplate 130A. The Coastal NGLI rated number 2 chassis grease, Lucas Oil Stabilizer, the SuperTech 80W90, the Mobile One Extended Performance 10W40, the Clean Bore gun lubricant, the rim oil, which you can barely see, but it is actually on there, and the Castrol HD. Almost forgot it. That's the SAE 30. Let me see if I can really get a good shot of the rim oil there, because it doesn't look like it's there, but it is. There, you can see it a little better, but it is on there. It's so, the coloration is so light that you can't see it, but that's a full drop of oil. Maybe, yeah, you can see it running now. So what are we going to do with it? We're going to drop it in the water and see about, well, we're going to give it about 10 minutes and see how much of it floats off that aluminum flashing. That is metal. So without further ado, okay, we're going to try to drop it in there. Watch, it's going to float. Ain't that a hell of a damn note? It looks like we're going to have to push it down and see if it will indeed stay underwater. It is metal after all. It's a piece of aluminum flashing. That water is probably 33 or 34 degrees. It came out of the, it's the tap water out of my water hose from outside, and it was partially frozen. So with that in mind, let's give it about 10 or 15 minutes and see how much of that oil floats off of there. And we will go from there. Let me see. I guess the best thing to do Alright, there's the time on my clock on my phone. 10:43 a.m. So at 10:53, if I remember, we'll come back and see how much of it has floated off of there. Like I said, the water's pretty damn cold right now. As a matter of fact, where is my freaking I got a thermal temperature gauge, and dadgummit, it's hanging right in front of me. Let's see how cold it is. Alright, so it's actually a little warmer than I would have thought. So it's showing 41.9, 41, 42, somewhere in that neighborhood. It looks like I need to get a new battery on this thing, but that's what we've got. So it's not as cold as I thought, but it's still pretty damn cold. It's probably warmed up a few degrees since it's been in here, but there you go. And in 10 minutes, we'll come back and see what we have got. Alright, 10:53. Gotta get over here and see if we can get a shot of this thing. My damn camera will focus. Under the KB, second one from the left, at the bottom, you can see a discoloration where the oil has flattened out against the metal. The rim oil, you barely can tell anything about it. I'm trying to get an angle so you can see if there's any left in it. I think it's pretty much all floated right away. So the clean bore looks like it has adhered to the metal quite a bit better. We haven't moved it around since other than we turned it so we could get a better angle on it, some better lighting. All the other ones, the Mobile One, you can still see it real well. The M1 there, closest. The Castrol is a lot lighter color, but I can see it with the naked. Well, you can see it right there. I'm trying not to get the camera in the water. The SuperTech gear oil, you can still see it. The Lucas, it's a nice big round blob, and of course both greases are adhering very well. I haven't seen any floating on the surface yet. I'm going to leave this for a week and come back and we'll finish this test out. But you can see what it looks like at this point. But the rim oil, it ran really bad when I stood it up. I can see some slight discoloration in the metal, but I really cannot tell if it is adhering to it very well. So that'll be the end of this section of the video, and we'll come back in a week and try it out again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do a real quick update. It's 12:48 p.m. So it's just after noon on the 17th of December 2017. I'm going to see if I can get the camera. Okay. Look right there, it says KB. Second one from the left. You can see how the metal is discolored. That is the oil running. God, my hands are shaky. I've been drinking way too much coffee. And you can possibly see the discoloration of the rim oil. How there's no bubbles where the oil has migrated. Let me see if I can get a pencil here and point this out to you guys. Down here below the line, you can see sort of where it's smeared out onto the metal, the oil. The one on the very end, you can see the oil still on there. It's migrated. The Super Tech, it has migrated. The Lucas oil has flattened out a little bit, but it's still intact. But it has 2 air bubbles. The grease has some air bubbles. The number 2 grease, and then the lubricant, the LP there, has none at all. It has not migrated any whatsoever. But definitely you can see how the KB designated one, which is the clean bore, how it has discolored the metal. You can see it sort of looks more whitish, I suppose you'd say. And this is only a couple of hours into testing. So just wanted to do an update to add to the video. And the water is 60 degrees now. Let me get my handy dandy little, well, 61. So it has, the temperature has risen by 20 degrees being in the shop. And I've got my wood burning stove going, and it's pretty damn hot, pretty damn warm in here right now. I don't know what the exact air temperature is, but it's pretty damn warm. But yeah, all the automotive oils are migrating, but not nearly as much as the rim oil, which was pretty much freaking water. It's I cannot get the camera to see. Well, maybe right there in that angle you can see a little bit of a ring. Let me see if I can run my hand over it. You can see the reflection, but yeah, it's still in the water. Okay, let's show you guys there's water in there. Okay, but anyway, I just want to do an update. Zoom in on that right there. You can see the big air bubbles on the grease. You can see the discoloration on the metal. But the clean bore is a whole lot thicker oil than the rim oil, and the rim oil, you can see it where there's no air bubbles at all in that area right there, and then it's surrounded by air bubbles. Okay, so where the air bubbles are not at is where the oil is at, but it's so damn thin it's really, really hard to tell. And then of course the Castrol, the CAS is Castrol, and up at the top ST is the Super Tech gear oil. That's 80W90. The Lucas, I have no idea what its viscosity is, but it's freaking thick. And then the Mobile down here at the very bottom. But anyway, here, and then of course back to the other two. But yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. It has been a week since we started this video series. This is the water test. Let me pull up my freaking clock on this booger. Alright. You can see it is 8:27 a.m. Saturday, December 23rd, 2017. And we can see from the results what has happened. Pretty much the rim oil is completely gone. The clean bore is actually sticking around quite well, comparatively speaking. The shocker of it was the Super Tech, the ST at the very right hand top corner here. It is still present, but not nearly as thick as I would have thought. The bottom right hand, the CAS, is a Castrol 30 weight. It's still there quite well. The Lucas is just a blob. It hasn't moved. The Mobile 1, bottom left, which is the 10W40, it is still present. And of course, both greases. And on the number 2 grease, you can see a lot of air bubbles in it. But the rim oil, there is a tiny bit of a film still stuck to the metal, but right in the center of it is pretty much gone. So what I'm going to do is pick it up out of the water and see if I can get a better angle on it so you guys can actually see what it is I'm talking about. Okay, and as you can see, when I turned it up, it is the Mobile 1 is running quite a bit. The rim oil, you can see, I mean, it's ridiculous. And in this particular, at this angle, the Lucas is actually starting to run. Let's see how warm it is. It's quite warm to the touch. It's actually showing about 67, 68.6 degrees. But you can see the water has just done it in, but the Lucas, the only liquid that has been very unaffected by the water. It's moving down from gravity, but look at the rim oil. I mean, I'm just trying to get the angle so you can see what I'm seeing with the naked eye. And the Mobile 1, it's run. I mean, it's running big time. The KB, which is a clean bore, that's the only other gun solvent or a gun lubricant. It's ran quite a bit, but it's been sitting in that water for an entire week. So I think the Lucas wins this and hands down. But it may be too thick for your region of the world. But it is an experiment. Figured we'd sock it to it and see what happened. There you go. And while I'm at it, though it is a clear container, it's sort of whitish, you can see that blob of oil just south of dead center in the very middle on the screen, but here it is. And I can see other small blobs floating here and there, but that's the thing. Water is heavier than oil, and if it can get under there, it will. And it'll lift it right off the freaking metal, especially if it is reciprocating forward and aft, back and forth very vigorously, violently. Yes, it will freaking lift the oil right off the damn metal, and then you have no lubrication to even speak of.